Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Sharmila Kalachand.
We were sitting at Belmar Plage with my family, an ordinary moment in front of a calm sea and a clear sky. Out of nowhere, my little sister we won't warn each other. At the time, I smiled at this beautiful idea. But then, years later, these words became a way of surviving deep. 5 a.m., my little sister Kilu passed away. And in this moment, something inside me split into two. Sham before grief, and Sham after grief. But the question I didn't know I would spend several years trying to find the answer within myself was this: will I ever be the same again? Because at first, that's exactly what I thought healing was supposed to be. A return back to who you are, back to normal. Healing doesn't return you anywhere. When my sister left, not only my emotions were affected, the way I move through everyday life was affected too. Two things in particular: sleep. On some nights, I just couldn't sleep at all. And on some other nights, I just didn't want to wake up. I later discovered that this wasn't unusual. Grief affects the body as much as the heart. Number two, my memory. My memory was affected too. I would go to the grocery store and pay at the till. I would then come back home and realize I forgot all my groceries at the counter. And yet, I was holding on to this one expectation. When will all this be over and I could be back to who I was before? And in this moment, something hit me. What happened was really, really. And the Greek philosopher Heraclitus is supposed to have said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he's not the same man." So this kept me wondering, maybe we're not meant to return to the version of ourselves after grief. The person I was trying to return to no longer existed, not because she was lost, not because she was broken, but because she belonged to a world where Kilo existed, and this world no longer existed. Grief is not only the loss of the person, it's the loss of the person that you were before that loss. That's why they say that grief is also disorienting. Everyone knows whom you lost, but only you know the version of yourself that disappeared with this loss. So all of this kept me asking myself, maybe I didn't want to go back anymore. All I wanted to do was to slowly embrace the change. Have you ever felt like this before? I did 3 things. Number 1, forgiveness healing. You know, I was ruminating on questions like, could I have prevented it? Could I have done better? Could I have done more? But then, it was too late. This question was thinking and coming back to my mind, this repetitive thinking patterns. Therefore, forgiveness healing was my way out. Not forgiving the situation, but stopping the war in my own mind. Because I couldn't change what happened. I could only stop punishing myself for it. So I decided to forgive myself. I could sleep again. Number 2, meditation. When I was grieving, my mind was never quiet. It replayed everything over and over again, as if grief was thinking through me. So I started meditation, which became my daily medication to create space. Then something shifted. I could think again, and these thoughts stopped owning my mind. I could focus again. No more return trips to the grocery store. Number 3, movement. By moving, I started moving forward. I started walking. I started exercising. Slowly, I became curious who I would become after surviving this. Taking care of my physical body was symbolic, and it represented me reclaiming my body against the clutches of grief. Research is clear that light movement can improve mood, can reduce stress, and can also support emotional recovery of the nervous system. But for me, it wasn't science. It was survival, breath by breath, step by step. Grief didn't disappear. It became something that I could carry. Because grief doesn't come in a straight line. Grief comes in waves. Some days you're okay. Some days you're not. Some days you're both. And that is not failure. That is grief, being just human. And sometimes grief doesn't come as pain. It comes much quieter. A song at the right time. A memory that feels alive again. A moment that you can't even explain. And I didn't need to explain anymore. I just accepted what it gave me. A reminder that love doesn't end. It just changes form. And this is the most important idea that I want to carry forward with you. Before, years ago, I thought healing was about returning to who I was before Kilu. But I was wrong. I never returned to who I was before Kilu. I became someone different. A new person stepping in a new river. And you know, everyone going through grief secretly asks themselves this one question. Will I ever get back to who I was before? No! And that's not the tragedy you think it is. The person you were before the loss belonged to a different chapter of your life. And healing is not about getting back to that chapter. Healing is about learning how to live in the next one. And this is what the Kilu's loss taught me. Years ago, Kilu told me this. If one of us passes before we see a view as beautiful as this again, we won't mourn each other. At the time, I didn't understand. But today, I think I do. Grief is not the end of a relationship. It's the beginning. It's love in different forms. The continuation of love in different forms. While I never came back to who I was before Kilu, I became someone she helped to create. And this is how I carry her forward. Go live your best lives. You will never go back to who you were before. Embrace yourself and just grow from your grief and become your best version, your strongest version ever that you could have ever imagined. Thank you.